and welcome to Opposing Sides. I'm Sam, a Browns fan, and that's Matt, a Steelers fan, and today we're going to cover both of our draft results and much more. So let's get into it. I am really excited to hear about how it went in person. You were there in Pittsburgh on day one.
Oh yeah. So it was an absolute madhouse up there. I mean, I want to say they broke the attendance record, which obviously every year they kind of do the same thing where new attendance records get set because they start doing media stuff for all the stuff. But I really do think that the setup up there was really cool. The city came out. They repainted all the bridges. They had public transportation set up for people to get from the point all the way to the other side. They were doing ferries from one side to the other, so you could ride the
Really?
boat.
Down the river.
It was really cool.
Damn.
So it was definitely a good experience, especially to have with my dad. He had an absolute ball up there. Whenever we were sitting there back behind the ESPN stages with Pat McAfee and stuff, he kept looking over at me. He's like, we're totally on TV."
Yeah, we were sitting there looking for you, and I could see from your pictures and videos that you sent me. I could kind of guess where you were, but never could I get a clear shot. Did you wear the mask while you were down there?
So actually forgot to bring the mask, but I
Oh,
did bring a terrible towel, which I had forgot the last time that I took up there. So I
for
forgot one thing and brought another.
for a little bit of information, Matt had bought himself an AEW Steelers luchador mask and um, wore it. We took a video of it, and I have not posted it yet. I have been wanting to get into posting that, but I haven't edited it down, made it look nicer.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
shouts out AEW. They made trademark licensed masks for all the different 32 teams, and we're selling them. So that was cool.
that's awesome. I actually did not know that. Maybe I'll get a Browns one and put my glasses over it.
They were pretty pricey, but I genuinely like I was sitting there with the cart and I was gonna get you one, but they were $60.
Oh my god.
I was like,
Oh my god.
oh
40
yeah,
maybe. I don't know about $60. That's
yeah,
like
it was pricey.
my Quinn Sean jersey was $100. I don't know about that dog.
That's why I just bit the bullet. I was like, you know what, I got to. It's my company, it's my team. I got to double up. So
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at least you did bring your terrible towel. I know when we went to the Brown Steelers game, you both sadly had forgot your towels. So, um,
which we definitely should have brought them for Cleveland. We absolutely needed them there.
yeah, you needed them when Aaron Rodgers just didn't want to get sacked. What a game to be at. I mean, never lost record. Watching football live there against the Steelers it's a pretty hard thing to beat. But I was wholeheartedly prepared to lose my streak. But I'm glad it didn't happen. I bet you were pretty glad that you guys didn't get the record put on you and it ended up being on the Bengals, which I think is even better.
Yeah, so the way and I guess this is just my own perspective, but the way I always look at the records, like the people that obviously the fans remember all the sacks, because like I remember a lot of TJ's sacks too from back in the day, but once they get the record, it's more or less just about remember like having the record. It's the number. The
Yeah.
number's the important part. So it wouldn't have been that big of a deal if Rogers had gotten it, and it's not like Garrett hasn't sacked it before, so he's already in the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure on all three of his teams.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm almost positive. Um, I want to talk about your guys' QB situation, but I think we'll get at that later. So, right now on my screen, for those watching in the audio form, you're not going to get the full detail here, but I made this draft board and I posted it the day of the first round. This was my guess of what the Browns could take available, best player, whatever. Um, and the only thing that I got right was that the Browns took Denzel Boston with their pick 39, or what would be their. I don't even know. Was that the 39? Or that would have moved, right?
Uh, they traded, I believe. They traded back.
Yeah, so this is with their second round pick, they still took Denzel Boston, which I'm very happy with. It was pick 39, so somehow I got that one right out of all of them. Sadly, Traden Stoops, who I really enjoyed, went directly before him, and so did Colton Hood. Both cornerbacks I was really, really looking forward to as players, and I'll continue to look for them and see how they do on the Raiders and was it the Giants before us? I can't even remember at this point. Um, that was 4 days ago at this point. But I guess I'm just gonna get into my side of the draft here.
The actual draft.
Yeah, obviously with the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals really start the train of messing things up.
The Cardinals definitely started screwing it up, and then the Titans went, "Oh, watch this."
Yeah. Jeremiah Love, I think that was nobody really expected that for them, and so I think it forced Tennessee to jump and grab Carnell Tate, which I think the smart decision was to do what the Browns did and get tackle first. Obviously, the more popular opinion is what I did up here, which is wide receiver, then tackle. But I love what the Browns did. I think Fano was the better pick than Caden Proctor. I think that is going to show. I like Caden Proctor, but there's certain things that I don't like about Caden Proctor. And so Fano going over him, I think, is just a better fit for us. And even going back, last year's too early mock draft that was done by PFF, they had Caden Proctor as the number 1 overall pick. They had him set to be the best of the best. After everything, I think Fano just has much better footwork. I think he's got great run blocking potential, and he's got great hand placement, whereas those are all places that Caden Proctor doesn't strive in, especially in the hand placement thing. He gets beat out of the hands too much.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have the footwork, and that's where I liked like the Caleb Lomu picks, even though Caleb Lomu obviously wasn't the number 1 option. That's the kind of thing I look for. You can always train strength. It's harder to get out of your own ways, especially in the heat of the moment. You know, you go off of instinct, and if you've gone something your whole life, you're not going to have the best hand placement. And so overall, I do love the pick for Fano, and I do also think that George Warhop will be able to develop him even more into the tackle that he is meant to be. And it might take a couple years to get him to his best, but for right now, you know, being able to have him on either side, he's played every side of it, I think you put him at left. Moving off of that, it's a really interesting thing to see right after that they go Casey Conception. And I know some people are mad because there could have been better wide receivers available, but what the Browns were looking for was also a bit of a big brain move. They knew that Buffalo was very interested in him, and so to take him off the board early, I think is a good pick for them. And I looked over every single one of his 2025 touches this last season that he played. And the big thing people keep talking about with Casey Concepcion is drops. This is the biggest thing people talked about. I watched 101 targets, and he caught 61 of them. At 5'11", I watched the Aggies quarterback, Reed, overthrow or misthrow Casey 22 of those non-catched balls. He dropped 5 balls in 2025. One of which, the very first ball he drops, which is 4 games into the season, mind you, he is thrown into double coverage, which he is often thrown into double coverage. And he gets the ball in his hands, but as he's coming down, he's slammed by a safety, and the ball comes out. Throughout the rest of the season, I watched him make what I counted as 11 hard catches, which are what I constitute as either being thrown into double coverage, almost hospital ball-esque, or having to fully extend his body in the air to make the catch because he was overthrown or sometimes underthrown by Reed. And so this whole thing about Casey Concepcion's got a drop problem, I don't see that. I see that Reed didn't do him enough favors on the field. Outside of that, all I saw was insane footwork in the return game and in the catching game. He had great footwork. He returned 25 returns for 456 yards and 2 touchdowns.
His footwork's definitely great. That's for sure.
He was able to just bend his body in weird ways, beat defenders left and right, great corners, top corners in the league. And so I see him being, he's got some good deep ball threat. But what I truly see him in is he is amazing in the short game.
Absolutely. And with you saying that you watched all of his downs, I'm sure you've seen plenty of the Texas A&M offense of Marcel Reed, who nicknamed the Gingerbread Man. If you could not guess, it's because they can't catch him. Yeah. He's a little man that runs around and throws it short yards. But he does have a cannon. He's got a nice little arm. He can pump it. But
yeah,
the thing about a lot of their offense is short stuff.
His throwing movement too. I do not like Marcel Reed's throwing movement. It's that big winding clock. Very early Baker Mayfield, Jacoby Brissett, where it's he's under duress. He's running a lot, obviously making throws on the run, and he almost forces the ball too much to Casey Concepcion, where it's one of the drops. Yeah, he hits Casey in the hands, but he hit him at about 60 miles an hour. I mean, absolutely blasted him in the face, and it goes up. But oftentimes, Casey is able to deflect it. Marcel Reed had some bad throws where he threw terribly ducks that quacked the whole way into defenders, and he was able to break them up so it wasn't an interception. So I see a lot of good out of him, and I think of a little bit more athletic, younger, obviously, Jarvis Landry. A guy who should be consistent in the short game, somebody you can rely on, but has really crazy breakout speed. His acceleration is really good. If he gets in space, there's nothing that can catch him, it seems.
Pre-draft, that's actually who I had compared him to. Concepcion, I had compared him a lot to Jarvis, which was funny when we had that conversation the one day about how Jarvis was one of the best free agents that the Browns have signed in like the last 2 decades. Well, just because of the culture change and the impact that he had.
Yeah, and I mean, I was happy he got to escape a terrible coach like Adam Gase. I mean, God, I hate that guy.
He's all coked up, as they're saying.
Oh yeah, apparently Le'Veon Bell says that man was the stupidest coach ever and was coked the hell up. But I don't see that.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't mind either one. Not my coach.
Yeah. And then I'll move on to one of the best. I wouldn't say steal, but the fact that Denzel Boston was there. I know we talked a little bit about it and how
he's not for me.
Yeah, he's not for you, and we talked about that a good bit. You weren't the biggest fan of him at receiver. What I see is an incredibly athletic guy, somebody who has just got a really good frame, and I watched all of his highlights. Dude has hands. Mm-hmm. He can get that ball and just it's not going anywhere. He's not going to fumble it. He's going to get hit and stay standing.
You send him on the red line and tell him to go up and get that ball. He's coming down with it.
Yeah, he's coming down with it. He's that big body receiver you need. As much as I love Cedric Tillman, injuries aside, maybe Denzel Boston becomes a better Cedric Tillman. Big frame guy that you really want. Um, he, I mean, I saw some highlights where he would catch the ball, come down, and the defender would bounce off him, and he'd just be still standing straight up. Nothing phased him. Um, that was that's a, in my opinion now, I think that's a good pick. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. I don't think he's going to be, he's not Justin Jefferson. But, and not the Justin Jefferson the Browns drafted, might I add, but I think he will be a very well athletic talent. And then this is the true steal of the draft. It's Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Wow. All four of these guys were all projected to be picked by the Browns in the first 60 picks. These were all guys the Browns could have gotten with 1, 2, or 3. And somehow they pick him up with pick 58 that they traded to get in the second round. And we got all of these guys who were all first round talent, capable, and we got them all. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, I can't say his name apparently. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, a lot of syllables. That dude, he was second ranked by PFF at cornerback, or at safety. I'm so sorry.
I would honestly say he's probably the biggest steal of your guys' draft.
Oh yeah, that is an understatement. He is a fantastic safety. Pairing him with Ronnie Hickman and Grant Delpit is insane. He's got really great eyes. He plays the zone very well. For a hell of a degree. He's a ball hawk. He can see the ball where it's at. He gets a lot of good picks. He only had 2 picks in 2025, but over the years he has had a good bit more than that. And he's a big, fast, and physical safety. And the thing that I see the most that I really enjoy is his tackling ability. He doesn't do this shoulder shove, push tackles. No. He hits you and wraps his arms around you. He tackles like a young Jordan Hicks at linebacker, let alone at safety. He really does pursue. Now, that can be a weakness, that over pursuit to just try to blast a dude. Can be a weakness if somebody's got really good foot movement. They can just let you fly away and then they got open room. But
sure,
I could see him. I mean, his spacing's really good. I watched plenty of times where he would destroy a screen the moment the ball touched the receiver. He was on that guy. I see a lot of really good out of him. And comparatively, I had Traden Stukes there, which I have him labeled at cornerback. Obviously, you can see there. But he's just labeled at defensive back. He played corner. He played safety. He kind of played all over the place. I wanted a guy who was that open zone, good at just looking for the turnover, the interception. He also, Warren, is amazing at the peanut punch.
Yeah, I mean, same with Stukes. If you're a rangy nickel corner, you're basically a free safety, just depending on whatever else you're gonna do in your packages. But Warren is a physical freak downhill.
Okay. And it's a little scary. So that's incredibly exciting. He seemed like this was kind of this is a great thing for him. I could see him lasting a very long time, especially with Grant. I mean, I love Grant Delpit. That's my guy. Always had a lot of love for him since even rookie season when he got injured. Those two combined with Ronnie and whatever else you want to do around them. Obviously, you need a fourth guy to kind of just give people reps. I could see that backfield just turning into a slaughterhouse. Or not backfield, I'm sorry. That what's the word?
EBs?
Your defensive backs just becoming the turnovers that you want. Like, as much as I love Denzel, he doesn't get turnovers. Pass breakups.
Yeah,
pass
you don't need him to get. It's all right. Stick him on your number one and
Yeah.
Ride them off.
Stick is the true word. Denzel sticks to people like nobody's business. Um, so it's I could see
Whenever he's healthy.
us going up in the turnover margin on defense with him there. These next few are going to be fast, just so that I don't take up all the time talking about the draft. Obviously, I want Matt to get some input in here. Austin Barber, the tackle we took next. He's good out of Florida. He's got good athleticism. He's going to need more training in the actual position. He's just a piece of that offensive line now. You have an 8 deep. You've got people all over the place now that you can rely on.
The big old man, big old hunk of meat. I'd tell you that 6'7", 320.
Yeah, he is a big boy, and I could see him being a good, not something I'm worried about. Not somebody I'm like, oh frick, here's KT Levinston. Oh my god, get him up.
He seems like your prototypical pass protecting left tackle, which is all right. Him being that size, I'm sure you can coach him up, especially like you'd said about the having Warhop coming in.
And that's what you would hope for, is that you can develop this guy into being somebody that is better. So obviously I had them taking a guard at that position, Sam Hecht, which the Panthers took, and I think that will be good for them with Bryce Young. I really liked Sam Hecht as a player there, and so happy for him. Sad to not see him as a Brown, but he's a guard. We took another tackle. I get it, whatever. After that, round 5, we got Justin Jefferson. Oh my God, linebacker out of Alabama.
Parker Brailsford as well.
Oh yeah, and Parker Brailsford. I did kind of. I have him switched. I actually just jumped over him. I'm sorry. Yeah, I jumped over him on my list. Yeah, a center out of Alabama. He's a small center. Yeah, Parker Brailsford he's got good hands. He's pretty fast, but because he's a small center, I've seen him get dogged by someone much more athletic than him. He's bad at filling the A gaps. So it's like backup center. Now you got 3: Elton Jenkins, Luke Whippler, and now him. Cool. I'm not upset about that pick. He just isn't that big, Justin Jefferson next. Sorry about skipping that. He is a really good will linebacker. He's a bit small for that, but being that quick, he probably is going to be better used as like a nickel or in like the blitz package, or just kind of set up to make sure that a run doesn't get away from you. You're kind of just going to have him set. You're not going to put him in an actual like being in the middle of the line. He's not that guy.
I'm starting to see quite a bit of a pattern here with the Browns linebackers that they like.
Blitzing linebackers.
Roughly 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6'1" at the most, and they're just really fast.
He is not a big guy at all for any reason. That's not the end of the world. I think that there's times for everything.
Sure. I'd hoped that Harold Perkins would slide down to Pittsburgh for us to take him for kind of that same position of just having that extra kind of blitzing edge off the side, but. Yeah. I believe he went to the Falcons, so they'll probably just end up using him for the same thing over there. But
I understand that. And they'll bust out the last few ones. We got Joe Royer, tight end out of Cincinnati. He's a blocking tight end. He can run a decent route, but he's not going to be running a route outside of anything short. He's not going to do Harold Fannin things. He's going to be...
He's getting added to the room.
He's going to be your basic, basic tight end. He's your... he's just your basic guy. There's nothing to him, really.
Nothing too special, right?
Yeah, he's a fine athlete, but...
He's a senior. At least he played his whole time.
Yeah, he played his whole time. He had a good few years. And... I like having a good blocking tight end where it was like Whitehurst, or there's a couple names I want to say, but I don't really like them as receiving receivers. So,
What about Seth DeValve?
oh yes, Seth DeValve. Wow, that's a name I haven't thought of in a second.
Well, and that's when you get down into the fifth, sixth, seventh rounds, you start getting names like that.
Well, and we already have an interesting tight end that we have on our practice squad. I cannot think of his name for the life of me now. He's got a very interesting last name. I cannot think of him at the moment. I'll come back to that.
This next pick is the one that I was hyped for, actually, if I'm being honest with you. The Taylon Green pick.
Yeah, Taylon Green, it's an interesting pick for me. If anything, he's really fast.
Dude, it doesn't matter. They made a Gruden quarterback camp on Taylon Green, but it's definitely very informative of Taylon Green's personality and the type of player and person that he is.
Yeah.
Because Gruden, there's a lot of wide receiver transitions from quarterback that are people his size, that are his athletic build, that will do it and are successful. And like Gruden tried to kind of edge him into that and be like, hey, you could be really successful in the league with that, and he like shot it down, like hardcore. Taylon Green was like, I'm a quarterback. I won't play anything else. I will not play any other position. I'm a quarterback. So
might have to change your mindset, son. I just don't see it for them. The guy I was thinking of, by the way, was Sal Cannella. I like Sal Cannella. I think he has some good upsides. I just think he needs to get a little bit more done. He's been on the team for the past 2 seasons.
There's only 53 boys that are good enough to make it on the final roster every year, and what is there, 10 of them that are inactive every week? Yep. Something like that. So some people are just good enough to make a roster. Some people are arena football players one day.
Yep, whether it's arena, I love the UFL for stuff like that. I think the UFL has become a great tool for guys who still want to compete, who want to be out there, and possibly want to even get back into it if they weren't the best the first time around.
It's a great outlet. I love it. I love having
the kickers. Apparently, let's go guys like Jake Bates. Love Jake Bates. Loved him with the Panthers. And the fact that he didn't have to move stadiums to go and be a Detroit Lion is just awesome for him.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Taylon Green, lastly we got Carson Ryan, another tight end out of BYU. He is at best a blocker. At best. He is not much of a receiver. He doesn't have great hands. His route running ability isn't great. He doesn't have that speed. He is the blocking guy, So overall, I don't see that guy making the tight ends list. I think Sal Cannella is better. But we'll see,
Right.
Not to hate on a guy. I don't want to be a hater, but I just don't see him being the he was a 7th round pick. Oh.
If you're talking about being a hater, wait until I get my draft around here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited to talk about. Obviously, there's a big elephant in the room for you guys. Definitely, we can let's talk about this one.
Okay, so I am horribly disappointed in our draft. I would say. I mean, and there's not much that we get to choose about when it comes to our first round pick absolutely getting pulled out from underneath of us. There's nothing we can do about that.
And I'm with you guys on the I do believe that there was some tampering there. The fact that you're on the phone with him, wow, it is just spazzing out.
It's dying here. I'm trying to pull our draft up here. Technical difficulties.
It's okay. I'm not.
Here we go.
Okay, you got it. This is okay. Here we go. Yep. I'll let you put your hands on this one.
All right. So When it comes to first round pick, yes. And I guess I'll preface my entire outlook on this draft here with the fact that if Makai Lemon gets taken in the first round, this whole draft changes.
Yeah.
It all changes from the top down, realistically. So the fact that he goes there at the first round, pretty much, I would say, and this is just me trying to read the tea leaves of it, is that probably Broderick Jones's injury is on the worst side at this point. So they would rather have somebody of an insurance pick, ready to take that spot if he genuinely just never plays football again. And even if he does, from my perspective, I don't think that he would be good enough to have back around for 30 million a year.
No.
He's definitely got to earn that money. He
Now-
hasn't played up to that level.
Talking about people who you don't think the injuries were going to go well, you guys have a dude who has come back from a pretty hard injury in Asante Samuel.
Mhm.
Asante Samuel Senior. Sorry, can't confuse him with your 2-year-old son.
Is it senior? I thought it was
Or
junior.
is he junior? I can't remember. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's junior.
But that guy, he's come back from something that people were like, "Oh Jesus, I don't think this guy's gonna play football again." But the surgery was done in your town,
Right.
and the Steelers wanted to take a leap on him, and I think it was better for them.
Well, when it comes to, I would say maybe the last 4 or 5 years, give or take, Pittsburgh's definitely opened up their doors at the fact of, oh, he's injured or has an injury past. Cool, we're going to pick in the back half of that round anyway, so we're just going to take the shot. That happened with Peyton Wilson. They have a lot of different history of picking other people with it, but it happens all the time. So I don't know. I think that's why the Drew Aller pick ends up happening here in the third round, but we'll get to that here in a sec. So they don't really mind with injuries all like that, I would say, especially showing that they have the medical stuff in the city to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like I want to say there's only a couple surgeons in America that have done the spinal fusion surgery that Asante Samuels has had, but he came back and he played. A lot of people didn't think he was gonna fucking walk, so I'll take that. Look at Ryan Shazier.
Yeah.
So this last name, I want you to try it. Have you heard it?
I have not. I heard them say it on the broadcast, and I think I would trip and fall.
Poor Jerome Bettis looked like he was back there in the green room rehearsing that name because he did not know how to say it.
That's already a sweaty man. I think he was sweating a little bit more on the stage there.
And I would say it tips the hand a little bit more even in the post-draft press conference because I believe that McCarthy and Omar Khan did not say his last name in that press conference.
We like Max. He's a good guy, Max.
It is Max Ihenachor.
Oh.
Ihenachor? So I want to say he was born in Ghana? He was born somewhere else, but when he came over here, they did not have a football team at his high school.
Oh.
So he had to play soccer. He did not play college football he didn't play football until he got to college.
Wow.
He literally is like, he's very raw, which is what Broderick Jones was. He was just a very raw product coming out, and they tried to mold it into something that clearly did not take shape, and then he blew his neck out, maybe. But this guy, I watched a little bit of his tape, just trying to go through and learn about him, I guess, because I actually didn't watch a lot of tape on the tackles. I didn't think we were going to take a tackle that high, let alone that I think we were going to take this guy. But I guess I should have. So his feet are. This dude is a dancing bear. His footwork is incredible, which I guess shows because of all the soccer that he played. Like,
yeah, you got to be.
He is
you
massive.
Move your hips a lot on that. The soccer triangle.
Right. He's. I mean, look at this. He's 6'6", damn near 321, with a 4.9 40.
Wow.
And it's he's absolute freak physically. It's just a matter of if he can play football.
Yeah.
I don't hate the pick. It's just, and this is a reoccurring topic here for the draft, but I think it's a reach realistically. Physically, he might be able to live up to that pick, but I don't know if we need a tackle in the first right now.
Especially
So
with what was left over there. I mean, obviously, you guys get screwed. Um,
I really liked Dylan Tieneman. I thought that would have been a good pick there. I liked McNeil Warren there. I did not want Denzel Boston there. But
was hang on,
Omar Cooper, that was
that
actually
Omar
the
Cooper
one that
Jr.
I was saying.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Was Omar Cooper Jr. available? Yeah, because he's picked at the end of the round by the Jets when the Jets traded back in. So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. You guys need a lot of help at wide receiver, and that's hard to say. I
Well, and
and again, it's the
we need a
popular
lot of
pick
help at
versus the
receiver.
yeah, it's the popular pick versus the thoughtful pick.
Sure, sure. And sometimes it's you got to eat your vegetables. It's the eating your vegetables pick. You got to do what you got to do. But I don't think that Bernard is going to be a bad choice. I genuinely, I would say that him or Jennings Dunker are probably my favorite picks of this entire draft. Just because Jeremy Bernard is essentially this year's Emeka Egbuka.
Okay.
He's played X, he's played Y, he's played slot, he's played taken sweeps. They use him on everything, literally everything, and they have Ryan Williams over there as well. So the fact that you have one of the like probably best receivers in the next like 3 or 4 years, one of the statistically best ranked receivers coming into your school in the last decade, and you're giving touches to this guy. It's kind of worth something to at least say that it happened.
Yeah.
Plus, Ty Simpson he had a lot of what's the word, chemistry. He had a lot of chemistry with Bernard, and you could see that a lot in the back half of the seasons. Really, he came through and saved his ass a ton.
Well, and
So definitely excited for that.
he I think he'll be a good addition to that room, especially with what you have now. I really do think a lot of the guys are out.
Hmm. Well, Sam,
Speaking about
it's time for the pill.
yeah, this is the elephant in the room. This is the thing that when this happened, I was sitting at home and I had it open and it hadn't refreshed yet, and I immediately get a text from Matt, and all he says is, "I am so deflated right now," and I refreshed ESPN to see Drew Aller, and we a lot this year and last year. We are known to not be Drew Aller fans. We have uh, just hounded this guy. We have made this dude look like a fool just talking about him, and he's just not my favorite pick at quarterback, especially with the injury coming off of that. I just don't. I just don't like it.
I don't really like it either. And now I have written here in my notebook, my notebook, Drew Aller dash. I have been bred to dislike him, comma, need to reanalyze.
Yes.
So we're I don't want to say we're predispositioned, but we're here in Ohio. We're Ohio State enjoyers.
Yes.
We watch a lot of Ohio State. It kind of goes against the entire idea of Penn State, but we've seen this guy play a lot, and I've seen this man fall on his face a lot. That's the one thing that granted, this might be a bad decision on my own part, but the baller, just gamer gene that a quarterback can have, that Brett Favre, that Baker Mayfield, that Matt Stafford, that these guys have. That gene is what I love in a quarterback. And when I look at Drew Aller, I want to throw up because I don't see that in there at all. I see the fact that he goes down by like 2 scores and he just crumbles and slides and falls under all of that pressure.
Yeah,
So,
that's all I've seen is I've just been disappointed by him. Um,
yeah.
and again, I don't want to sound like a hater, but this guy is just not it. And maybe it was that knee jerk reaction. Oh my God, Carson Beck went. I gotta whoop, pull that one up real quick.
Right.
Is it the best move for you guys? I really don't know because the situation you guys are in is really up in the air. Is Aaron coming back? Are you sitting these kids, him and Will Howard, behind Aaron Rodgers in hopes that for one more crazy season, Big Mike McCarthy can pull everybody up and have that magic one more time and these kids learn something and one of them gets the job? Or is Aaron done and you're rocking with Mason Rudolph, Drew Aller, and Will Howard?
Well, I wasn't a happy camper when they fired Tomlin, but I kind of, or I guess it wasn't a firing. He resigned. He resigned, but he could feel the heat. It wasn't, it was time. It was time for him to go, and it was the end of an era. And when that happened and they came in with McCarthy, what that told me was that it was not an end of an era. It was actually we were just staring in a mirror and nothing changed. So
Yeah.
I would honestly I'm over the decision of Rodgers. If he comes, he comes. Cool. It is what it is. We got another season with Rodgers. Hopefully he does well. But if not, I think it's definitely time to let the young bucks go out there and fight over the bone, and whoever comes out, let them take some snaps.
Yeah.
The last time that we had that happen was with Kenny, and we barely even did that because he was the first round draft pick when they forced the fucking trigger pull, and it didn't fit.
No.
It didn't fit at all.
And rewind a little bit more. You guys had the battle of Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges.
And now, once again, you bring up Duck Hodges, but that dude had a little bit of that dog in him. It didn't matter if they were down by 14 or 21. He was about to pop a 40-yard banger down the sideline.
And
because we got to get back in this game.
Same with Josh Dobbs. I think Josh Dobbs is that killer football mind, and he can pick the team up and try to put him on his back, but he's a skinny boy. And that team weighs a lot sometimes. And whether it was the Browns or the Vikings or the Niners or the Steelers, that boy's tried, and he's tired.
Sure. Well, actually, this will be a good segue here to this next kit, Dalen Everett in the 3rd round that we got. We did trade up to get Drew Aller, I believe.
Yeah.
We stayed and we picked to take Dalen Everett. That kind of happened once you said about the Carson Beck. He goes and everyone goes, "Oh shit, it's time for him to start popping off the wall." So they ended up having to move up and take him. The same thing kind of happened with Bernard, I guess. They moved up a couple picks to take him, but Everett here. I personally really did not like this pick. It might be one of my least favorite picks of the entire draft, and that's going over top of Gabe Rubio down here, which was not in the top, I think, 530 of scouted players in the entire nation.
Doesn't have a picture. I've not seen that.
Yeah, that's we'll talk about that here in a sec.
What I think is kind of interesting is literally the next pick after your pick is when we took our second tackle at 80 or at 86.
Yeah. So this corner here that they took, there was a lot of other talent on the board that I thought was better. Tried to, and this has been my whole point of going through and looking at all these picks that I've despised is I'm trying to put myself in the GM's shoes of understanding why they pick these guys and where they're going to put them.
Yeah.
Which some of them I can get, some of them I can understand. And this Dalen Everett guy, I didn't fully understand until I heard one argument about it earlier today,
Yeah.
which is he's kind of mediocre at damn near everywhere that he goes, except for the fact that he's really fast.
Mm.
He's got a good 40, and he has a lot of bad tendencies. His brain is smart, but physically he there's a lot of issues where he would bite down on things and then he would get left like a below a coverage behind him, or he would come down and try and make a tackle and it would end up just he would whiff it, get bite down a little bit too hard. He's too aggressive. I really don't like him, and he's not a great tackler either.
I can see they talk about he has lack of makeup speed. So yeah, if he gets beat on a turn, dude's gone.
His hips are
Now,
awful.
they
Which is
talk
like,
about
bro,
stiff
you're
hips.
yeah.
The thing is,
Now
dude has played a lot of football.
he has. He's played a lot of
41
football.
games at Georgia.
Now this is Georgia. It's in the SEC. We know how that shit goes. And what you had just said, he played a lot of football and he's got tight hips. What that translates to me, when you're a corner, you got tight hips and you've played a lot of football, you're a safety. You're not a corner. So the argument that I had heard was that in like a year or two, whatever, say maybe Asante Samuels doesn't hold up to what his contract is and they let him walk. And we have JPJ and we have Jamel Dean. Maybe we don't want to re-sign Jamel Dean. Maybe he doesn't do whatever. You have this backup option of outside corner, and if they do stay, you have a fallback option where you have a depth safety. You've got a guy that can do that, which I like. A lot of our defense is kind of positionless, I would say, in the DBs, which is really fun. But
Yeah.
it opens up a lot more flexibility in your defense there. But I still don't like him.
No, and
Especially with the other picks that could have been done there.
yeah, that's an odd one.
I don't know. They needed a corner. It's preference. They say he's smart, but we'll see. We'll
And
see in a couple years.
your argument for the don't want to keep a guy who's more expensive, that is the possibility, and I don't want it to be, but that is the possibility with Grant and Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
McWarren, yep.
That Grant is a strong safety. Warren is a much more hybrid but strong safety. I could see that being a possibility. I don't like that possibility. I think Grant has a lot more good to give to the team, and I don't want that to be the case. I don't want it to be the David Njoku, Harold Fannin thing, because I love David Njoku.
Sure.
But that is a possibility. Totally could happen.
Well, and with the possibility of injuries, there's always it's better to have depth than to not have it. So,
yeah.
With that coming along, we have Mr. Jennings Dunker, the red mullet himself.
Yeah, this is the one you said you really liked.
Dude, I am so stoked that this guy he's staying in the black and gold. He went from an Iowa Hawkeye to a Pittsburgh Steeler. If I'll tell you what, Sam, have you watched this dude's film?
I have not.
If you watch this dude's film, grab some popcorn and you will belly laugh your ass off. He is the most football player that you have ever seen.
Well, looking at that mullet in that picture, I can see already in his genetics the kind of man he is.
Think about this. He played right tackle at Iowa for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons there, is what they said. We're going to play him at guard. We're just going to straight up move him. He's never played guard before, maybe in high school when he was younger, but in college he's never played guard. And we're just straight up being like, all right, that's cool. We're going to put you here.
Interesting.
Because you're going to get in there and throw your weight around and just bully people. Because that's pretty much what he did as a tackle. There's clips of him just like running over and like he'll push an edge or like an end down to the side, and then kind of let him slip off, and then just use that to speed rush past, and then hit the linebacker, and murder this linebacker.
Oh my gosh.
He throws his pads into their helmets. It's insane. But definitely can't wait to see him. I think that he will easily be a starter for the next couple years as long as he stays healthy whenever they slot him in.
Well, that's exciting. And definitely a much more happy pick for you then.
Definitely the steal of the draft for me.
I mean, I know you like Jeremy Bernard, but it's really your first like super happy pick, and we're at, you know,
We're in the third round. We're in the second of our third round picks.
the third.
Oh yeah, no. I just the biggest thing that everybody has said, just sports coverage wise for the Steelers is that they came into this draft with 12 picks, and they came away with a mediocre haul. Really, they didn't cash out,
Well,
and
the
it's
fact
like, well,
is,
what did you bring the 12 picks for?
you picked 10 of them.
Yeah, and that's what we got. We got Drew Aller in the third. We got a depth corner for the future safety, maybe in the third as well. That's where you draft starting guards and starting safeties, man. Which hopefully, Everett becomes that. But if you're planning multiple seasons down the line for that kind of guy, I don't know.
Now, Iowa comes again
The great state of Iowa.
with
Caden Weegan.
Weegan. Okay, that's Irish.
So, Mr. Weegan here led the league in. Well, I'm not sure if he led the league necessarily. I know he definitely led the conference that he was in kick returns. He had 6 kick returns. So definitely, he's a wide receiver, but he's a return specialist.
Okay.
We lost Gainwell. Caleb Johnson fumbled the only kick return that he had all year, and then we have Jalen Warren. So we need a kick returner.
And that is something I'm happy about with Casey Concepcion is that, like, he's not a kick return specialist. He's a wide receiver, but damn, is his returning real nice to see. So
He's nice on punts. I like him back there.
And that's I think that's a great spot to get somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's Weegan. I guess he was kind of projected to go roughly around the 4th. It was just the fact that he was a receiver at Iowa that kind of dropped him that far. It's not really a great position to be in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I watched the 6 returns that he had made, and he definitely looks like he's got some burner. He's got some great vision on the punt returns. So glad to have him in the Berg. Pardon me. So
That was a good one.
down here we go to the next boy, Riley Nowakowski.
Look at that trade line.
Oh yeah. Now, this man says that it is a tight end. He is not. He will be coming into the Berg to be playing a fullback. I would bet 100% money on that. This dude is going to be John Kuhn. He's going to be Hunter Lipke. He's going to be Mike McCarthy's fullback.
You guys like to just change these dudes' positions, like what, Darnell Washington? Is that who it was last season?
the tight end that they're like, bro, just make him a tackle.
Dude is 500 fucking pounds.
I love Darnell Washington.
That is a man bowling ball meant to ruin boys' dreams.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with, I remember Rosie Nix was one of my favorite. He was an ex-defensive tackle that had moved to fullback, which I'm like, oh great, that's a that's a great mix. But he used to play for us. I really liked him.
So this guy is moving to be a fullback. Now, how big is he? Like,
he is 6'2". He's basically Jonnu Smith.
Okay, so he's not that big.
He's a little heavier than Jonnu Smith, but he's
ungodly big.
No. 40. He's got a 4.6, so doesn't really have that much of a burner. But
kind of hating on him in the athletic score of a 62. Production score is 63. I mean, they have him.
He's a fullback, all right? Listen, he can't he can only do so much when you're a fullback athletically.
Requires more instinctive hand resets as a run blocker. I mean, that's
He's
just
little, he gets bullied a
that's
lot.
just coaching. Um, I don't know. I could see it.
Well, and the fact that we only have Fryermuth, Riley now, and then Darnell Washington. That is our tight end room.
And Darnell's
So
coming off an injury, and Muth wasn't the Muth that you guys have come to know and love last season, and
we
maybe
blame Arthur Smith for that. All right,
and that's just
don't.
because Arthur Smith's a bad, bad coordinator.
Fryermuth only plays good against the Bengals, so we just have to play the Bengals
My daddy
16
owns
times.
FedEx. I got a team, yay! And then he got kicked the fuck off it.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
Johnny
Well,
Smith.
he'll be
Johnny
Ohio
Smith,
State's
Johnny
problem
Smith.
now.
I'm afraid.
We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's
Um,
woo package time.
Definitely excited for spring ball. That'll be fun.
Could he be one and done?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
I'm getting like bad shivers. No
it'll come.
profile,
It'll come.
nothing. They gave him no analysis. Dude was not meant to be drafted, is what you're telling me.
Nope, not at all.
Senior, I mean,
Uh,
he's big.
he's very big. His dad played for Pittsburgh. His name was Angel or Angel, one of the two. Not entirely sure. But that's pretty much all I got. He's literally 6'5", 321. He's just a base run stopper, really. Nothing too crazy.
I love looking up here and seeing Mansour Delane right here. Kansas City gave us picks to take a guy who would have been there.
Uh,
Man, what a fumble that was.
They're incredible.
Yeah,
Genuinely, they are incredible with that.
I mean, this dude literally does not exist in draft form. I mean, they're going pretty nuts in this draft video here.
The last two seasons that Rubio played, I want to say this last year he broke his arm, so he only played like half the season, and then the one before that he had another injury issue where he didn't play the whole season, but purely just a 6'5", 330 plus, big boy D tackle to throw in with YA Black and um, the other rookie that we got last year that I mean, he played well, but he's a nose tackle, so you can only have so much of an impact on as a nose tackle, unless it's run stopping.
And that works for your guys' scheme, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like him doesn't work in like the Browns scheme.
It always comes down to the fact of if you can stop their run and they can't chew the clock, then you're basically pinning your ears back for your pass rushers, which is exactly what you want in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But can't stop the run, can't stop the run. That's why Baltimore got Derrick Henry.
He can chew up almost any defensive line, unless you're knocking the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, or breaking his legs.
Are you just gonna skip over this guy, or what's going on?
No, my window's bugging out here. So Spears Jennings, he's actually he was projected to go like in the third or fourth round. Definitely kind of a steal to get in the seventh round. He just kind of slid, but he's very, very fast. He's got a 4.2 or 4.32 40. So very, very quick. 6'2", 205, kind of more just like a box safety.
Yeah.
Really, really quick box safety. He's got a couple snaps of doing like deep coverage stuff, but a lot of it he's kind of just biting down and being a little bit more aggressive. So I would say his future is probably a lot more towards the line, something like that. Definitely a special teamer.
They say he has size and toughness for a pro safety, but looks like he's going to need to spend some time in special teams before he can show off in the main roster type thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sam. This draft right here, special teamers, brother. We got so many special teamers.
Yay.
Weejan special just returner. We got Nowakowski definitely going on the special teams. Rubio, you're a defensive tackle, buddy. You better figure something out. And then Spears. I mean, he's definitely gonna get tossed in there, probably on punt returns. But we'll see. We'll see how they go. You know, they got to earn their spots somewhere. And then we have our old boy down here in the back half, the hometown hero that they picked,
Yeah,
Eli Heidenreich.
with my dad being a Marine, he loved that what they did for this kid. You know, he's a Marine, a young man who got that full treatment. Even at pick 230, they brought him up, gave him the little the videos, the hug from Goodell. He got a really nice ceremony, even for being a 7th round pick.
Yeah, no, he played football at Mount Lebanon, or was born there at least. He's literally like grew up down the road from the stadium, damn near. He grew up being a Steelers fan. He said that the last time that he is actually he went to, I want to say it was the Pittsburgh Baltimore division game, maybe. It was what he was saying. The last time that he watched the Steelers play, he was in the stands wearing the uniform, and then the next time that he'll get to play, his name's going to be on the back of one. You know, it's that next level thing of like, this is why we play sports. This is what football is. So
Do you
very,
think
very cool.
he will make main roster with the situation you guys have at running back currently?
To be fair, Mike McCarthy didn't draft Caleb Johnson, so he has absolutely no stakes on him. And the fact that he didn't get hardly any snaps last year and continued to get buried in the depth chart underneath of Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. Yes, they played better, but he absolutely should have been in games where he was getting touches, and he wasn't. And the only time that he did get on the field, he fumbled that kick return.
Oh yeah, I remember
So
watching
I don't want to say that he might have burnt his career away by doing whatever he's doing in there to get buried or not doing anything special enough to get attention. But if it comes down to the point where they end up removing him, I feel like the coaching regime would definitely go with someone that they chose over someone that's a hanger on from before.
and that happens. That happens quite often with teams.
Hmm.
I I saw an incredibly hot take after this kid was drafted, and I might not have ever seen a glazing more thicker than this guy. He's saying that Eli Heidenreich is going to be better than Christian McCaffrey, and like I understand you guys had a tough draft, but that dude was trying to find something. He was saying, "Oh, he's bigger, faster, stronger." Like, yeah, you can be a bigger, you could be faster.
Well, you
But
seen what they were talking about with the international player that got signed to the Eagles, right?
yeah,
They were saying that he's the next Miles Garrett. He's got identical build to Miles Garrett, but he's never played football before. He's never played a down of professional football before. They're like, he's a physical freak to a mirror to Miles Garrett, but he's never played football.
yeah.
Okay, so he's not that guy then, is what you're saying.
He's 6'4", 285, and you can't teach that.
You're right, you can't, but you can teach leverage and plays and
Euro
all the
steps.
different, literally every kind of pass rush move that goes into that kind of stuff. It's there's a little more to it. That's why the Gabe Rubio pick for me is very interesting because they literally are just like, oh yeah, he's a 6'5", 330-pound dude. Cool, we'll take
Put him
him.
in the middle.
Like, all right, is that what we're doing with our picks now? Like this safety that ran a 4.32 was on the board, and they went, yeah, we'll take the big guy. Like they better see something.
Yeah, and sometimes coaches do. There's some picks. Like, did you guys get anything in UDFA that you guys liked?
Nothing special. We got a camp kicker. We got like a camp body. Nothing too special.
Look at that one. This is the best. I love this line right here. The Taylor Green pick goes from Jacksonville. Technically, it goes from us to Jacksonville to Vegas to Buffalo to Denver back to us, and we pick a guy with it. In fact, we traded this pick away and got to pick with it. How often does that happen?
Well, I think that's what might be my favorite thing about the fact of the Taylor
Oh,
Green
Jets,
pick is that
Jags. There it is.
at one point it was your pick and then you traded away and then you got it back as a free pick and you're like, all right, cool, we'll just take the Calvin Johnson at quarterback guy. He's still on there. I guess we'll take him.
Yeah, that's very interesting. UDFA wise, I mean, I'm happy that we got Spencer Fanu's brother.
His brother.
You know, another edge. I wanted an edge, and we didn't take one. So that's my little tick off the board there on my original board. Other than that, can't think of anybody else that we.
I kind of wanted a decent linebacker, but we we got a safety in the box. That's the best that we could do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we got multiple edges out of that. Thank you, Google, for giving me AI crap. My favorite.
The Steelers UDFA class is Devin Boykin, DB out of Indiana, Lake McCree, tight end, USC, Kevin Jobity Jr., defensive line from Syracuse, Laith Marion, kicker, Kansas, and Shamon Matire, tight end out of Arizona State.
Oh, cool. We did get
Nothing piques my interest.
defensive tackle. I like that. We didn't have to spend a pick on getting. We got a 6'1", 281, big old boy out of Wake Forest. Oh, actually, technically out of he transferred around. Wake Forest, South Florida, and LSU. My goodness. He is a big boy.
I always like getting the brother teams. So
Yeah, and
that's fun having that on there.
You know, incentivizes you to, you know, have your stay with your brother. You know, make the roster. It helps out morale. Now, sadly, if you know one of them doesn't make the team, which I doubt Spencer Fano won't make the team, but that's a thing to deal with. I think I don't know the fact that QB is still listed up at the top there. I don't know. You're
Yeah,
really just, like, you're hoping for something that isn't there. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think Carson Beck, Diego Pavia, who didn't even get drafted, I don't see any of those guys being better than Shedeur at this point. And I don't want to, Shedeur glazing. Like, I don't think Shedeur Sanders he's not Tom fucking Brady. But he's also not Carson Beck. He's not, I mean, he's better than Dylan Gabriel. Which, I mean,
A blind grandmother would be better than Dylan Gabriel.
yeah, at least blind grandmother's right-handed. I don't know. I don't hate it. I think he's a lot better than DTR was.
That's for sure.
I think compared to other
I feel like
picks,
there are points where you can trust Shedeur to put a drive together and lead them down the field and actually get positive plays. I feel like that was never a thing that happened with DTR. DTR, anytime he led a drive, it was always a hope.
Yeah, it's hope. It's hope that your run game could keep it together because DTR is afraid to throw the ball. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now I haven't looked at what he did for Birmingham now that he got traded and is starting. I didn't watch that game, but he just wasn't there. And the two Browns games that I've been to outside of my Steelers games in the last few years where suddenly DTR is starting and we lost. The Ravens game when Deshaun magically was hurt again, and the Miami game at the end of the season. Both were like, oh, we're going into this, somebody else is starting. Oh, it's DTR. and we lose. And it's an awful game to watch because nobody's making progress. Our defense isn't good enough to hold Miami back, but our offense fucking blows. So what do we get out of it? Nothing. We get a sad walk home in the rain. But I can safely hope that it'll be different. And I think after these last 2 seasons, looking at these 2 drafts, how amazingly Andrew Berry has drafted for this team, you really see one of the problems, at least for the Browns, was a guy by the name of Paul DePodesta. This shadow figure that not a lot of people know about. This
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, this is football Voldemort, man. This guy is a football terrorist.
Honestly, he is.
Yeah,
Him and Matt Canada.
dude. Oh my God, Matt Canada, Adam Gase, Matt Canada, Jeff Saturday. Paul DePodesta does not know ball. That dude is this devil whispering in Jimmy Haslam's ear, going over the head of the GMs to draft these miserable picks. I mean, guys like David Bell, Perrion Winfrey, just awful picks. And now that he's gone and not with the organization, suddenly, oh my God, the future's so bright. 2 years in a row, the Browns have the best draft. And you can argue, oh, Miami had the best draft, the Giants, everything I've seen. I mean, 99% of people are like, wow, Andrew Berry cooked.
I definitely think that their drafting has gone better in the last year or so. But it always, you have to have a foundation to start with.
God. Damn, look how many picks these boys took.
Dolphins. I like this draft.
I mean, my goodness.
I like a lot of these players, actually. I think they got some really deep stills there.
13 picks is crazy. And again, Caden Proctor. I like the pick. I don't know.
Chris Johnson's an interesting one to slide into the back half of the first. They must have really, really, really liked him just in the interviewing process. But
if you have the capital to trade back up in, might as well, right?
Jacob Rodriguez going to be a dog. Chris Bell going to be a dog.
A lot.
Kyle Lewis, I'm very interested to see what happens with him. He's kind of like a prototypical box safety linebacker mix. It says linebacker, but the dude played safety. He's an interesting player. But
that's exactly what you said.
So I think that'll be very interesting to see how he plays there, especially with the safety here as well underneath of him. The Texas safety, I was actually kind of hoping that we would take him instead of the Pierce Jennings fella, but it is what it is.
It is. They just had a lot of picks, and the fact is they picked all of those is it's a little insane. I guess we can go over the Ratbirds a little bit if we want to.
I don't want to look at this. It's just going to make me depressed and sad. This right here, this was my first round guy, and they straight stole him in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
Jacoby Lane, I like him as a receiver, but there have been reports coming out that he's a little beat up in the head.
Oh.
So Elijah Surratt might end up Jacoby Lane already says that he has CTE.
I saw that interview. The Elijah Surratt pick, I mean, I wanted him. I think he's a great, they got him in the 4th. He was available. We totally could have had him, but if I get 3 receivers in the draft with what we had, it's just not worth it for us. Why do they have so many compensation picks?
So you get comp picks from having people that you drafted going somewhere else and getting the size of their contracts.
That is, I do remember that. So
the better that you draft, the better compensatories you get whenever they leave you.
I think one of these also is for Harbaugh.
Probably.
Because you can get them from coaches too. That's wild to me. Wow. Fuck the Ratbirds. Let's get off of this.
Pull Tampa up.
Tampa Bay. Wow.
So
That's a
this draft right here,
that's a short draft.
my God, I think that they got this might be one of the best drafts in the entire league. The fact that they got Bane here at 15,
Ted
they got
Hurst.
Trotter in the second, Ted Hurst in the third to replace Mike Evans, Keontae Scott to slide in. I mean, my God.
For not a lot of picks, they added a lot of stuff to their team, and in a lot of positions they really were struggling. I mean, I think they have good corners, but that is whether it's a
I say he'll play nickel probably.
Nickel
Scott will,
corner
but
and
they
linebacker.
have I think McCullum out wide, and they'll be all right.
But definitely, I definitely had them taking edge early, and my goddamn mom, said this was gonna happen, and she was right.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, you're fine.
The dude that was next to me that was up there, he actually he was a Redskins fan or a Commanders fan, sorry. And he was wearing a jersey. We were bullshitting about it, and then they took Bane, and I was like, man, you guys like weirdly shaped D linemen, huh?
Yeah.
You got Bane with the baby arms. You got Kalijah Cansey, who's like 6'1", little baby.
Damn, they really think he does a 72 athleticism, but they have him 93 production. Like that outweighs tremendously.
There's a lot of people that do not think he's going to translate, and I'm very interested to see if he does. I haven't seen a whole lot of his film of like his bend, just seeing how he can actually get around the edge, but
that's I think it's a good pick for them, and we will just have to see. Sometimes you really just have to see. It's not like a Emeka Mbuka where we were like, oh my god, what a great pick, and he was. And sadly, when he becomes threaded to be the number one target because everybody else is hurt, sadly the production goes down, and then he just gets beat up by that. But I think he'll have a bounce back season for Tampa Bay, and hopefully Baker gets fully well again and does something good for Tampa. I still have a lot of respect for Baker.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like you had said, when they picked Igbuka, everybody was kind of like, man, did they really need that? And then 6 to 8 weeks goes in, Mike Evans goes down. What's his name? The other receiver he's still injured with the leg, and everybody just starts dropping, and then Igbuka's the only one, and we're like, oh shit, they did kind of need that.
Well, and
so,
they've got guys like Tez and some others.
Yeah, Tez Johnson, that was the other one.
They have Tez Johnson.
Yeah, so I don't
they
know.
have Tez Bryant right on at corner. Don't they have both Tezes?
Maybe.
Am
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know. I think I'm happy with the Browns draft. I think they added enough that it'll breed a lot of competition. I see. I have hope that Jerry Jeudy bounces back. I mean, I had hope for him before, so I'm not one of those people that counts him out. If your wide receiver room is Jerry Jeudy, Isaiah Bond, Denzel Boston, and Casey Concepcion with Harold Fannin and the 3 running backs, I really, really enjoy Quinshon Judkins, obviously. I like Dylan Sampson. But then Raheem the Rocket. What an interesting pickup for the Browns. And I really like him as a guy that I'm not concerned about him being on the field. It's like, oh, Quinshon's getting rest reps. Put in Raheem the Rocket. He is going to still do some damage on just power runs,
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of good hope. We could still just be a just under even or a barely even team. But I don't know. I feel like there's this. I feel like we have become the dark horse. We're not. The Panthers were some reason the dark horse last year, or you know, I guess the Patriots, but I don't know.
Patriots are the Patriots.
The Patriots are the Patriots, apparently.
I think the Broncos are a real sleeper to take it all the way because I mean, one
think so?
injury away from last year, like they're
Well,
pretty much gonna go.
In my opinion, they were one injury away from the Super Bowl. I still think Seattle's defense is just better.
I definitely would take my chances with Bo Nix in that offense than I would
the comeback
fucking
king
Drake
as well.
May.
The only person who's got a better comeback is freaking Caleb. You know, like Caleb Williams is he's the comeback king. You know, as much as the Broncos were able to rise back in games, I think it's a much more group effort. Caleb Williams puts that team on his back somehow, and I mean I was not a Caleb Williams fan, and now I'm like, well, dude knows how to ball. You know, and
He
what happened,
strives when the game flows through him.
he got a
really what it
competent
is.
coach. They got rid of Matt Nagy. Well, that was before him. And who's the guy who went to the Dallas Cowboys? Matt Eberflus.
Oh God,
He got rid of. Both
I
the
forgot
bad-
Eberflus was even there.
They got rid of both the bad Matts. They got rid of their awkward quarterback situation in Justin Fields, and suddenly they became a threat, you know. And like they drafted fine, I think. Dylan Thieneman, I mean that's a good pick for them, and Malik Muhammad, I liked this pick for them at corner.
I actually like a lot of their picks. I think that Vanderberg pick, that's a
Jordan
solid pick.
Vanderberg,
They're
yeah.
late in the draft just because size wise.
Another jump around.
But Muhammad, Vanderberg, Sam Roush, that's going to be a bit of a sleeper pick for them, I think. He's probably going to end up being a starter in this league for a hot little minute.
Do you think Sam Roush takes over Cole Kmet's position? Because obviously, I mean, they've got it set at tight end with all three of them. But
I was going to say, would you rather pay Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland?
I'd rather just pay Colston Loveland because Colston Loveland's a fucking dog.
You're damn right. Yeah, Sam Roush
is-
will definitely fill in for that Kmet
I
spot.
think Colston Loveland will be my sleeper tight end pick for the fantasy draft.
Don't let out all the secrets.
No, but that's that's gonna be a fun one, I think. We gotta figure out how that's gonna go here in the next, I mean, we got months with an S.
We got months to work out fantasy and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it'll come eventually, but I think we'll have some fun there. But is there anything else you wanna talk
we
about?
got the other teams that I have penciled in here. I have Texans, the Jets, and Philly.
I'll click on your hate.
Oh.
Look at him. He's so pretty, even though he's a snag. Dude literally is he looks like somebody's playing the pipe behind him. Like that man literally slithers in all of his interviews. Like, does he have early onset CTE? Come on.
I'm not preying on his downfall that hard, but I hope that he does nothing in Philly. I hope this man comes to Philly and they just continue to run the ball and he gets AJ Brown treatment and gets pissed. That's what I want.
Hey, it's very possible.
Other than that, Eli Stowers and Markel Bell, both of these picks I think are pretty solid. Markel Bell is an absolute mountain of a man.
We call him a mountainous tackle. 6'9",
Yeah.
346 pounds. What the fuck?
He's a big boy. Kind of dropping here in the athletics and the size variance, but he's a tackle that you can't get past. Yeah, so he is what he is.
That is Thanos levels. That is crazy.
Yeah, so I do like him. Eli Stowers is probably going to be a pretty nice fit. He's going to be one of those, I don't want to say sleeper receiving tight ends this year, but depending on Philly's offense, he definitely could be a major piece.
He's that Vandy boy.
And then we have Cole Payton down here. He's definitely going to be just hands clasped, praying, sending a prayer up to the north. Jalen Hurts' downfall. Get get that man out of there. I'm tired of seeing him. Cole Payton's. I mean, he's a simple guy. He's a little dude from North Dakota State. Didn't run too much of a special offense up there, but I do like his physicality. He's kind of got that gamer feel. So
He's a lefty.
it happens. See, he's a lefty with shoddy mechanics. That's literally
Subpar arm talent. Wow.
that is the definition of a dude that's like, man, he's not really that good at anything. Let's give him a ball and see what he can do.
Whoever
Like-
wrote this article really did not like Cole Payton.
There's not a whole lot special about him. He's a very simple quarterback, but I don't know. There's something about him that just it calls to me. I didn't necessarily want him. I don't think he would fit over there because Pittsburgh likes to have bigger dudes. He's not really all that big.
Well, Houston, I guess.
Yeah. So in my what you calls it's my little notebook here. I have gems on all three first round pick or all three first picks. So
Yeah,
Keelan Rutledge, McDonald, and Marlon Klein. Good lord.
Yeah, no, Caden McDonald, dude slid, and he deserved to be a first round pick. Obviously, you guys could have taken him.
Yeah. That's all right. We got Gabe Rubio, dude.
Woo, Gabe Rubio.
Like, we
Give a
got
round of
big
applause for
guy.
Gabe Rubio.
Default big guy. So Keelan Rutledge was he was in a lot of my mocks that I had ended up doing there when we were prepping for the first episode actually. But I did not take him anywhere near that high. I'm glad to see that he did go that high. I think he's a very, very talented dude. But that definitely could have been a little bit of a reach. We'll have to. Both this one and I think the Pittsburgh draft will be very interesting ones to look back on in a few years, just to see, what the hell did these guys do actually?
I do like the Kamari Ramsey pick here for them. I mean, they got him pretty late for being a very a good safety.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I liked Kamari Ramsey a lot.
I liked him a good bit, and you know me, I always talk about finishing a tackle. I don't like this push a guy. I want you to tackle a guy, and that was something I saw a lot of in his film and stuff.
He's got a lot of durability issues, but that
Oh.
kind of plays hand to hand with the physicality that he's got.
And
So.
it's hard to be a defensive back and not take a ding or two.
Take a hit. Yeah. The Marlon Klein pick, I think that could also be a little bit of a sleeper one. Marlon Klein's a very, very interesting prospect. Here, let me pull this over here to my first page actually. Marlon Klein was born in Germany. He only started 12 games, and within those 12 games, he was voted a team captain on that offense.
Yeah. I saw that. I went over that with looking at picks actually.
So definitely a very, very interesting player. Unique mind, I would say.
That's wild. I think they did pretty good. And then what's the other team you wanted to look at?
The
The who?
Titans.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out when you said that. The Titans. I can't read. Tennessee.
What do we got with Tennessee and their
Okay.
building?
Keldrick Falk. We both liked him a lot. Obviously we can skip over Cardinal thing. We talked about that way too much.
Tate'll be a stud. It'll be interesting seeing Ward throwing to him for sure.
I mean, that's a lot of guy going to a good bit of guy. I mean, Cardinal Tate's not gigantic. He's not small. So it's good. I like the Keldrick Falk pick here.
Definitely an interesting one. Kind of it strangely fits into the weird mold that the Titans have for their pass rushers. Is that it's like this really, really long arm, tall, but like not necessarily big guy for their frame. Keldrick Falk's always been kind of an awkward player, but he is good. So I think it'll be an interesting fit there. I like this Anthony Hill Jr. pick as well to them, but with the amount of depth that they have at linebacker, it's a matter of how they're going to actually get him out there on the field. They'll probably end up playing him in, or someone will get injured and he'll slide in. But
Damn, he's got 17 sacks and 8 fumbles in 3 seasons. That is impressive. That's a bit scary.
You know, I want to say it was this last season he didn't do as good as he had the year before.
And they needed good stuff in. I don't know. Their defense has definitely been lackluster. So to pick up a guy like that, I think it would be better. I mean, they have a fine defense, but nothing that made me scream.
This pick right here is also probably a pretty interesting one, just to add to their backfield. With Nick Singleton, he's definitely a lot more of a power guy. He's got more muscle on him.
You need that part because, like, you know, Tony Pollard.
That's what they don't have.
Tony Pollard's good all over the place, and oh gosh,
Spears.
Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears is a receiving back. Tajay Spears is young Kareem Hunt. He's obviously I can't say he's beat John, but you know he wants to be. You know.
Rachaad White.
Rachaad White, what a weird. His pickup in the end of the season last season was interesting to me. You know, just
running backs are weird when it comes to that.
Suddenly, late in the season, Rachaad White's just back and just doing. He wants to. Same with who's that other running back for Tampa Bay that low key popped off.
You talking about Bucky or the one that filled in when Bucky got hurt?
The one who filled in when Bucky got hurt. I cannot think of that guy's name in the moment.
I got nothing. Not right now, at least.
I will pull it up because I want to be that guy. John Tucker.
Tucker, yes.
Yeah, John Tucker really popped the hell off last season. Just weirdly late in the year, you know, just really went.
Well, and it's like you can, in a running back room that's that filled with talent, it's kind of tough to see people that are that good and it be spread about that evenly. But here's what it is. When people get hurt, people got to play.
Yeah, one thing I want to look at is New Orleans. I like the Jordan Tyson pick. Hurt receiver into a room with hurt receivers. Probably not my favorite pick for them, but I like Jordan Tyson as an athlete.
Come on, that's on par with the Saints.
Yeah. They want athletes. They like guys like Taysom Hill. Athletes.
I will say, I know I had mentioned it earlier, but when I was up there in person, the moment when Jordan Tyson got drafted was genuinely one of the only moments that like kind of made me tear up or like brought a tear to my eye being there, because like the draft is always a big moment for these kids in their lives, but when you're there to see it in person, you know, you're there to see this kid's life change. That was really, really cool, seeing him kind of just like take that moment when he was walking down the hallway to soak it in when he was putting his hat on.
Yeah.
That was really, really, really special. So good for him. I'm glad that he got taken as high as he did. There was a lot of people that I said that as well. A lot of people went earlier than I thought they would have, and he was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I had him as like a 20 wide receiver, but you know, good for him, and maybe him and Tyler Shuck can really hit it off. He's a guy that I have this not love-hate relationship with him, but he's one of those guys that, like, yeah, he saw good development this last season and saw success, but I do think part of that stems from lack of film on him, you know. But I definitely think he's a lot better than Spencer Rattler or who was the other quarterback they had at the time? They had one more backup, I thought.
Desmond Ridder.
Woof.
The guy that was a backup where he got drafted and then went to another place and became a backup again.
Yeah, they did not have it down.
Well, that entire division's kind of playing musical chairs with quarterbacks. So.
Well, and just I mean, we used to, 6 years ago, the NFC East was arguably the worst division in football, and
Sure.
now it's been the NFC South for the last 3 years. You had one contender and then three posers, and I don't know. We used to be one of the best, just hard football, and now it's like, ooh, we have definitely fallen from our graces. But at the same time, I don't know. We can put it up with the rest of them.
Ah, man, when you're watching and granted, I think when you look at an AFC North team, especially Pittsburgh and Baltimore, maybe not necessarily the Browns. Last year, I think you could argue the Browns with their defense, but when you look at them on paper and you know you're about to go and play them, it's like fighting a rock. It's just gonna beat you over the head,
Oh, especially
rough and
with our
angry.
defense.
Right? Yeah, it's gonna be an ugly game. Whereas I feel like when you play like Kansas City or like the Bills, it's not doesn't necessarily feel like that. Sometimes kind of feels like you're going up against a knife.
Yeah.
They could dice you up, they could get behind you, they could fillet you real quick. The game gets away, opens up real quick.
Well,
Uh,
with how crazy James Cook is and how good Josh Allen is, you can get cut up on both sides of the ball. I think
mhm.
Kansas City has fallen away from that both sides. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes hasn't played to the top of his ability, and getting injured sucks. But like their run game just has not been the same since Isaiah Pacheco got hurt.
Well, and you could honestly use KC as a good kind of format for it because if you look at that and then you look at like Cincinnati, in the same division with the way that they try and face up against us, they kind of wilt and falter quite a lot.
Look what happened to them when they faced the Browns. We literally ripped them to shreds. Our defense ate them alive. So, and we got the record against them. So, haha. Joe
It was a
Burrow's
shootout when we went in there,
Joe.
but I don't think anybody would have foresaw that was going to be a shootout.
No, and you know what? We were both on the edge of our seats there. What's gonna happen? Oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is actually driving on the field, and he threw to Denzel Ward 3 times, and the game was over.
I was just meaning against the Bengals
Oh,
when
I thought you were
Pittsburgh.
talking about us and the Steelers. Last season. Yeah, they're I think the Bengals are an interesting football team, but I don't know. It's just these injuries, man, and
The way that they're
how
set up,
terrible
they're
their
not set
offensive
up to
linemen
work.
are. Like they're in the place that we were, or we were in. They need some help, and like I don't even know what they drafted. I blindly I looked away from them.
Oh, great, another edge. That'll help.
Yeah.
Two center. There's no way they drafted two centers.
Is he gonna move over
You
to
are
guard?
kidding me.
Are one of these gonna move over to guard?
You gotta be kidding me. Well, the Bengals are gonna sit at the bottom of the division again. That's cool. Decario Davis was the only one that I liked of them, actually. I really preferred him. Him and Price Ox were both nice out of Washington, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, I think that's just about gonna do it for us.
Yeah, no, I can't think of any other teams that we want to sit here and diddle at, so I'm all cool.
All right. Well, thanks you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night.
Y'all take it easy.